My name is Bart, and once upon a time, I was white. In my years of being cursed with guilt, I found my life beckoned by the war crimes that my people have willingly inflicted on all non-whites. There are a lot of disadvantages being white. Like that, I can't take the time to smell the roses and indulge myself in chocolate without feeling bad about myself. It was time for me to change races and become who I am inside, black. There is no reason for me to live as a hate-filled, war-obsessed white male. For if I could lob off my testicles and put a vagina in its place, I would do that to feel the suffrage movement firsthand. There is no end to the amount of suffering that white males have accomplished to alienating the real love that human beings can have with one another in peace. There were a lot of things I gave up since I became an African American. My music has changed. No longer do I like typo negative, Rush and Whitesnake. Now I prefer to listen to things that expand my mind and thinking. I had many experiences that were shameful when I was white. Like that my relative was in the Ku Klux Klan and hated black people just because they could dance and play basketball, but that he couldn't and was jealous of black Americans' ability to dominate every major competitive sport. Although I had never met that uncle, it still bothered me that hate was in my genes. I knew that it was time for me to rid myself of the vile race that put black people in the back of the bus where they couldn't get the ventilation they needed for their extremely oily skin. Rosa Parks stood up for all black Americans that she would not move because her feet hurt. Why did her feet hurt, by the way? Because white people insisted that African Americans possess the most uncomfortable shoes. Barack Obama is facing world issues head-on instead of letting hick whites force their old South politics down our throats. Even though I am black, I still feel guilty about the Jim Crow South. Some people think it's not important and that I'm just living in the past worrying about black people and their problems. To them I say they should be dragged through town, tried for crimes they could not possibly commit and put on the end of a rope, and then they would see what it feels like to be black. It is these buffoons that make all human beings look shallow and weird for just wanting to see all black men with hot white women and malt liquor. And to those that say Barack Obama is a socialist, I say they should stop being anti-Semitic and be honest that when they use a communist pseudonym, in reality they are making every small Jewish baby cry. I promised never again, and I meant it. Let history not repeat itself in 2010 and end racism, apartheid, and stop making small Jewish people into soap for the bodies of hypocrite racists and radicals. History is doomed to repeat itself, but I vow one thing while my lungs have air. Never again, and not on my watch.